Hey guys, I thought I'd give you a pretty setting to talk about a difficult subject. I'm going to put out my notes on 13th, the Netflix documentary about the 13th Amendment. I've got my computer here, so I'm going to go through the notes, share them with you, and maybe you'll learn something too. But I learned an enormous amount reading this book or seeing this film. And my willingness to share hopefully will help some people. But I'll just go ahead and read it. You know, I'm not here to be sexy or cute or anything. I just want to share what I've learned. What follows are my notes from watching 13th on Netflix. The response to my review of the new Jim Crow was amazing. The support and love I received in the comments for these videos blew me away. It really did. I'm not sure how my racial education would have progressed if I had not done these clips, but it would have been a much different path had I not done the TikTok review videos. I'd like to think, I thought there was a bear over there. I would like to think I would have continued with my education. Who knows? That being said, I could not be more excited about how this has affected me. Rather than write a bunch of stuff that simply would be obvious and redundant, my followers seem to be I've gotten a lot of new African American followers, and they are not the ones that need to be educated. That's not who I'm talking to here. I'm going to go straight to the notes. While I've posted my TikTok review clips, the format is much too restrictive for me to share all I've learned. I've put longer version of these clips on my YouTube channel, so check that out. Dido Perspective, D-I-D-O Perspective is my YouTube channel. I do recovery videos and stuff like that too. I also am considering a podcast. I want to know what I'm missing or getting wrong. I'm sure a lot. So I'm going to consider a podcast where I'd like to have some guests, and I would love your ideas on guests that I could have on my podcast. It's never the oppressed that should be educating the oppressor. I realize that. So I'm just asking for your help, very humbly asking for your help. Please introduce this content to a white friend that you think not only needs this education, but also would be receptive to this information. We need to build a strong base of support among people that look like and grew up like me. A one percenter. One percenters, white, male, one percenters need to get on this, get on board with this. There's no other way it's going to work. We white people are the products of the history that our ancestors chose. If we're Black Americans, we're the products of a history that our ancestors did not choose. We need to understand this better. The language of the 13th Amendment is intentional and put in place to be used as a tool. After the Civil War, African Americans were arrested in large numbers. This was the first prison boom and the beginning of convict leasing. It's also the beginning of the mythology of Black criminality. Birth of a Nation was the first blockbuster film in the U.S. It confirmed the white narrative of Black men being rapists and criminals. It was also a very good predictor of how race operates in America today. The burning of the cross was actually what D.W. Griffith thought would just be nothing more than good cinematic image. That's how the KKK got that. Life imitates art. This movie also glorified the KKK, making them to look like heroes, and was 100% responsible for the Renaissance. In 1924, at the Democratic National Convention, 350 delegates or more were Klansmen. The African American migration north after the Civil War was nothing other than a refugee crisis caused by inflicting terrorism on the population. Terrorism turned into segregation, which supported a permanent second-class status for African Americans. Where's my cursor here? Let's see. Uh-oh. There we go. Leaders of the civil rights movement saw this as nothing less than a human rights movement. These leaders were portrayed as criminals as well as the entire movement. My dad even said Martin Luther King Jr. preaches nonviolence, but violence follows him everywhere. Being arrested became noble. This helped define the movement. At the root of this movement is simply the desire to be seen as full, complicated human beings. I am a man. African Americans are not a menace. though they've been portrayed this way from the beginning. True. I'm on 5 minutes here. I'm going to do a part 2 and pick up where I left off.